What's up, guys? Chaz
and Trista
here with Side Hustle Pros Live, our every Thursday 5 p.m. show. If you're just tuning in for the first time, thank you. Welcome. We are a husband and wife, basically family duo. We have a little 2.5-year-old Titus that runs around here. We're both home entrepreneurs. We quit our jobs, get to live this whole lifestyle using methods like Amazon FBA, eBay. We're into t-shirt design now with different merch on-demand platforms. I was a full-time massage therapist.
I was medical assistant
In the medical field, so we kind of have a lot of different things that we've done, and we just basically found ways to build side hustles to be able to leave the corporate world and basically build the life that we want. So we are here every Thursday hosting a live show. Today is going to be just us, no guest speakers. I'm sorry.
Just boring.
Y'all stuck with us again. Today we want to start covering something that's very important that a lot of people are missing in their business. Not just business, but any tips we give for the next hour can be for your life. I mean, we're talking health and fitness. We're talking personal relationships, spirituality. Everything that we're going to talk about in this topic can be relative to anywhere in your life. So as long as you are actually implementing it. And that's going to be...
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
We're talking about setting goals and actually attaining these goals.
Yes, I'm going to be a minute because I gotta get the chat open.
That's all we have to say. Bye. No, just kidding.
Thank you.
No, actually, this is a really important subject. Like Charles said, it's just something that can be overlooked, or you get so busy and wrapped up in your life, and especially if you work at home and you're kind of pulled in two different directions in the business and working life and then the family life. It's really hard to set goals in both and then make sure that they get attention, get a game plan, and that eventually you can reach them. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm still working on getting the chat up. Okay, we got the chat up.
Yay, the chat is here.
So welcome. If you guys are just tuning in, I know we got Instagram Live going at the same time over here. So Instagram people, if you want to hop over to YouTube, link in the bio. On YouTube, if you want to drop comments, ask questions, we'll be doing Q&A as we go along. But we have a few bullet points that we'll talk about first. Yeah. Just kind of based on our own experience, what we've seen works for us, struggles, many struggles, and a few successes along the way using these methods. All right, let's give some shout outs. Welcome, Barb. We got Mr. Kenneth Hustle B. If you don't know him, we shouted him out in one of our recent episodes of Saturday Shout Outs. Go check him out on Instagram. What's up, Gina, Jose? Welcome, guys. So let's dive in. So when it comes to goal setting, I mean, you guys can go YouTube goal setting and you see all these videos talk about like, you've got to set SMART goals. And they talk about like small, attainable, achievable, like all those different acronyms. I used to follow it. Don't get me wrong. I used to follow it. And I think you should break it down into small attainable goals. I'll talk about that. But the whole premise behind the SMART goals, I don't like. So my thought on that is, it was not smart of Christopher Columbus to say, hey, I'm going to go jump in this boat and go find a big island. Basically, it was not smart of the first aircraft to go to the moon. It was not smart goals, right? So I'm a big fan of breaking things down, but I go kind of this order. So number one is you have to know your big picture, right? You have to know where you're going and you have to know why you want to get there. Because if you don't have the why to pair up with the where you want to go, if you're missing one of those links, it's not going to happen. And that's something we've both experienced, like even from the times that we wanted to quit our jobs to the times that maybe, like for me, I'm heavily into health and fitness myself. I've lost and gained 50 pounds at a time, depending on what time of the journey I'm in. So it correlates to all that stuff. You have to know where you want to go and why you want to get there. And one of the things I like to say and give kind of an analogy so it's a little bit easier to understand is, if you're in LA and you want to take a road trip up to New York, what's the first thing you do when you get in your car? Open up your phone, GPS, how do I get to New York? And it's going to give you a route. It's going to give you a game plan to get there. And sometimes you're going to have closed down roads. You're going to have forest fires sometimes. You're going to have all this kind of stuff come up, so it reroutes. So that gets into a different topic we'll talk about. But if you want to get to LA, from LA to New York, You've got to have a roadmap. And that's the big missing link that people don't set for themselves. Everyone loves to sit here and say, I want to do this. I want to do that. It would be great to have a 6-figure business. It would be great to quit my job. But that's like sitting in your car, hands on the steering wheel, ready to go and saying, I want to go to New York. That would be so cool to go to New York, right? You've got to sit down and map out how you're going to get there.
Right.
Any thoughts on that?
Good advice.
I kind of just like
no,
word vomited.
So one of the big things that was my driving force when I first decided to come home, or that I wanted to come home, was that I was missing out on some time with my son. And he was a year old when I finally did get to come home from a full-time job. But I had decided, you know, pretty much after he was born that I couldn't go back to a job. And so we sat down and we made a roadmap of how we were going to get there, what this was going to look like. And obviously there's a lot of hard work that goes into it, but just making those decisions to turn left or turn right or go straight, that was the most important. That was the key to getting home for me. So like Charles was saying, you have to have a roadmap. You have to have somewhere to go. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm just going to say yes to everything. All right, back on schedule.
Yeah.
So here is how you set goals. So I'm not going to go into like the whole spiel of your typical goal setting, right? So I'm going to refer to the book, The 12-Week Year. It's about not setting goals necessarily. They are important to have. It's important to have them, whether it's written down. Some people write them up, dry erase marker on their bathroom mirror, like whatever works for you, that's great. But more importantly than the goals is the action steps to get there. Again, the roadmap. So once you have the roadmap, once you know how you're going to get there. So for example, in business, you say, I want to build a 6-figure business on Amazon. Great. Or eBay, either one, right? Just e-commerce in general. I want to build a 6-figure e-commerce business. Awesome. How do you get there? Well, you have to buy low, you have to sell high, right? You have to do that so many times per month. So you have to calculate how many times per month do I need to sell a $10 profit item to get towards my goal, right?
Yeah, the more specific you are with these goals, the more strategic you can be in building. So one of the things that Charles and I did at the beginning of the year was we sat down and we said, we want to pay off this and we want to be
we had
here.
A spouse meeting.
Yeah, we had like a meeting. Shop. It took 3 hours. So don't limit yourself to a time frame. Really sit down and be honest with yourself, be honest with your spouse or your accountability partner, whoever is there for you, and really sit down with someone and just decide, these are the places I want to get. Here's how I'm going to get there. And so for Charles and I, it was a certain amount that we wanted to earn this year. It was a certain amount, like little subcategories. Mm-hmm. Income was going to come from this stream, and this stream, and we wanted to make this much with this exact this stream of selling or providing some kind of value to groups or whatever. So anyway, the point being that as specific as you can be with your goals is better. Also, you can go back in 3 months or 2 months or a month or whatever and evaluate and see where you fell short or maybe where you exceeded your expectations.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm going to give you guys like a legit actual breakdown of how you can set goals and the create action steps. Okay, I don't want this to be the typical video where it's like, you've got to set big goals. You've got to have a 12-week, you've got to have a 6-month, and then you have a 30-day. Great. Fantastic. How the hell do I set action steps? Like, I want this to be a video that you can actually sit down. You have to, okay, back up real quick. If you watch this video and 6 months from now you say, Chaz, it was shit. I don't agree with anything you said. It didn't work. I tried it. But then I look at what you actually tried and was not aligning with what we taught. You can't complain about that. Okay. Can we all just get that out of the air? Like, in order for you to make this work, you have to sit down and do the exact steps I'm going to give you guys right now. Okay. These are the exact steps that I train my clients on as a health and fitness coach. So I do, if you don't know, I run an active VIP group where I train people, and it's all online based. We have a private Facebook group. So I teach this stuff, goal setting, time management, all of it gets intertwined in there. So I'm giving this to you guys like no charge. I just want you guys to do something with it, because a lot of people I see on YouTube, Facebook groups, comments, a lot of people are struggling right now. We're towards the second half of the year. It's right before Q4. People are freaking out that they're not at their goals. And it's because y'all didn't set tactics. And that's what we're doing right here, right now. So here's the outline, and then we'll go into it more after that. The outline is this. You set your big picture, like we just talked about. Where do you want to go? Like, big picture. Do you want to buy a house? Do you want a 6-figure business? Do you want to lose 100 pounds? Like, this is not just a business, episode now. This is life. Like, you can apply this to anything. So set your big picture. Where do you want to go? What's your ultimate goal? That can be 12 weeks from now, 2 years from now. I don't care. That's just your long-term big goal. Now, this sounds stupid, and it only makes sense in my head, and I'm okay with that. I want you to forget about that for a minute. Like, I want you to set the goal, but you're not going to focus on it. And that's the part that most people are like, okay, what the hell? Like, I don't understand. Like, know where you want to go, but don't focus on it. Just, okay, great. Keep in the back of your head, but we're done with that. Next step. I want you to set targets for yourself. So we go big picture. What's the ultimate thing that you want? Business, personal relationships, finances, like all that kind of stuff. Where do you want to go? Break it down into maybe a 6-month goal, right? You got to have that marker at the middle of the road where you're at and where you need to make adjustments. Because chances are the goals that you set in January are not going to be the goals you finish with in December. Things change throughout the year, and that's okay. You just have to learn to adjust your sales along the way. So 6-month goal. I want you to set that, keep it in the back of your head, forget about it for a minute. Even more importantly, here's where we get to the meat and potatoes of this thing. Focus on 30 days at a time. That's the key. 30 days at a time. Let's go deeper, even more importantly than 30 days at a time. Weekly. And then even more important than that is the final step, which is daily. Achieving your goals does not happen by setting your goals. Achieving your goals happens by doing daily and weekly activities that progress you further within your goal month after month after month. And next thing you know, you start to get closer to your big picture. So like, we want to buy a house. We want to pay off all of our debt. So these are big picture items, but in our heads, we don't focus on the house. We don't focus on the debt. We focus on what are we doing every week and every day that's going to help us get closer to that goal every single month. Month after month after month, start to stack up into each other. Next thing you know, you have a year's worth of progress. Then you have 2 years of progress, 3 years of progress. Next thing you know, you have the business, you have the house, you have the debt freedom, you have all that stuff that you wanted. But it doesn't come from setting and focusing on the big goal, because that's what everyone does.
Yeah, and especially if you get overwhelmed easily, it's very easy to look at that big goal and then, maybe make a few action steps or plans to get to that big goal. But then eventually, ultimately, you just get overwhelmed because it is a big goal. That's why it's your ultimate thing. It's going to take a lot of time and hard work to get there. So if you don't have these small breakdowns, like Charles said, the 30-day and then the weekly and then the daily even, you won't get there as quickly or effectively as you would if, you had those in place. It's so easy to get overwhelmed by the just mass of your big goal. And then you're not really sure where to step next, right? It's like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to take that first step because I don't know where it's going to go. Make those small goals.
All right. So I just did a quick calculation. Check this out. If you want to lose 100 pounds in a year, if you focus on the 100 pounds, that is a lot of weight. And it seems like it's going to take a long time to do. Mm-hmm. So chances are January, as a health and fitness coach for almost 9 years, I've seen this time and time again. January comes along, I get a flood of new clients. I want to do this. I want to achieve this. I want to lose 100 pounds, Chaz. Great. When do you want to lose it by? I want to lose it this year. I want to lose it in the next 12 months. Awesome. But if that's all you focus on, here's the issue with it. If February comes around and you step on the scale and you think, crap, I gained a pound, you're going to think, oh, it's no big deal. I still have 11 months. If March comes around and you think, crap, I only lost 3 pounds, I still have 97 to go. Well, it's only March. It's okay. I still have several months to go. You think you have so much time, but month after month, you keep pushing stuff off. What good is it? Like, really, what good are you doing to yourself? So that's the issue with having these like 1-year goals that you really focus on. It's about breaking it down. So if you want to lose 100 pounds in a year, okay, how many pounds is that per month? It's 8 pounds. It's 8.3 pounds. Totally doable. You want to hear a better number than that? Break that down into weekly. That's 2 pounds per week. If you need to lose 100 pounds, I'm going to tell you to focus on 2 pounds per week. And you do that consistently week after week, and you've lost 100 pounds by the end of the year. It's the same thing with a 6-figure business. If you want to earn $100,000, well, that seems like a crap ton of money because it is. And if February and March come around and you've only made 5,000, you're like, well, I still have 11 months to go. I still have 10 months to go. But if you break it down, that's going to be $8,000 per month, right? Just about $2,000 per week. You start to set these small targets that you really stay on track with. And more importantly than just having, like, again, the goal, you want to focus down into the daily thing. Like, what daily habits do I need to do? If you're running Amazon and eBay, you need to go source product. You need to create shipments. If you're doing eBay, you need to check in with, messages. You need to do all the back end stuff with that. If you're doing Amazon FBA, it's more sourcing than anything. So you need to set sourcing days. Mm-hmm. If you're doing online arbitrage, you sit down for an hour every morning, go through your websites, find the deals. If you're doing RA, you need to schedule out what times do I go out each day, which stores come out with a route, a schedule, whatever. But it's about breaking it down into smaller targets. That's the key.
And like Charles says, this applies to everything in your life. It doesn't just apply to your business or your health, also to your relationships. If you want to have a better relationship with your spouse or your kids, what are you doing every day, every week to make sure that a year from now you are a tighter knit family, or that you have a better relationship with your mom or whatever? Sorry to get all life coachy, but okay. So daily, weekly targets. I love to use just a regular I'm old school. I just like to write out my calendar, write out my goals. I use colored pens. It's so fun. But that's really, it's a chill out moment for me during the week. On Sunday night, I'll sit down and kind of map out my week. What are the goals that I want to attain every day and through the week to hit my business goals, or to, just make sure things get done. So I like the handwritten method. I use the Passion Planner, which it also wraps in a lot of these components that we're talking about, setting big goals at the beginning of the year, but then kind of forgetting them, like Charles said, and just focusing on those daily, weekly, and monthly goals. It actually sets you up every month at the end of the month to evaluate your month and kind of figure out what you can do better next month, where you can make your tweaks. So I definitely recommend this planner. It is super great.
Non-affiliate, by the way.
Not affiliated. I just like it.
She's been using that for what?
Couple of years.
2 years now. And I, on the opposite end, again, there's no right or wrong way to like make your schedule or whatever, or make your own checklist. I have a weird setup for my schedule. Yeah. I run everything through Google Calendar, so I can use on my phone and my computer. So that's how everything is scheduled out. I have time blocks for everything. I have time blocks for my gym time, my reading, even down to like our date nights.
Yep.
We, you know, for those of you, like, we're going to make a video about working together as a spouse, but you know, we hit a point where we see each other every day. We're out here sourcing and packing shipments every day and working together every single day, which is awesome. Like, I would not have it any other way. I love it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's a huge difference between like having a working relationship as spouses than having your personal relationship. So we found that like we hadn't been on a freaking date in
like
months.
2 months. Yeah.
Months. Crazy. It's like, when's the last time we just sat down at a table, face to face, eating a meal, and we didn't talk about work?
Yeah.
Like, it had been a while. So we started scheduling out, you know what, every Friday, like 6 p.m., of course, depending on schedules, but around every Friday, we just take a date night, go see a movie, go have dinner. Like, we don't, our goal is to not talk about work. Because if we go sit down dinner and all we're talking about is Amazon, eBay, then obviously.
Although it still happens because it's something we love.
Yeah,
and
it's a passion.
It just happens anyway.
Yeah.
But we really try not to talk about work too much.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But the goal with that is to, like, we knew it had to be a priority.
Yeah.
So we had to put it in the schedule.
Sure.
We don't like scheduling that stuff. I think it's dumb.
Yeah.
But we have to do it or it doesn't get done. You'll just get busy.
Yeah.
Like, if we're in the middle of doing Amazon shipment or packaging, you know, eBay stuff or photos or whatever, and it's Friday at 6, it's so easy to look at each other and be like, you just want to keep working? Okay, yeah, let's work tonight. So we knew that we had to make it a priority to get it done. And, you know, that's helped our personal relationship. So whatever you know you need to make a priority, it has to go on a schedule. So I use Google Calendar so I can use it on my phone and my computer. But even better than that, I am a whiteboard fiend.
Really? Literally.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 whiteboards in our garage. All have different meanings.
Just in the garage.
Just in my garage.
Yeah.
So with the whiteboard situation, here is like a tangible thing you guys can do. And this is what I'm talking about. If you don't sit down and actually do this stuff, there's no point in watching this video. I love you. Thank you for the view. Thank you for the comment, the like. But you're not going to get anything out of this if you don't implement it. Just do it. So this is how I do my monthly goals. Actually, I have to do it tonight because tonight's the 31st. So I have to do this tonight. So that whiteboard you see over there, right next to Trista's head, that one. I have 3 categories: health, personal, business. So at the end of each month, so I have to swipe that clean tonight, I write those 3 categories as like a header. You can do this however method you want. This is just what I do and it works for me. I make health, personal, and business. So I look at my health column and I ask myself, what do I want to achieve in the month of September for my health? So I'm looking at stuff like, for me, it's sleep. I think most entrepreneurs here, any business owners here, just a slight chance, we struggle with getting enough sleep, which affects your health. It affects your energy. It affects everything, your stress levels, all of it. Especially if you're into fitness, like I am as well, like it affects your recovery as well, big time. So I know for my health, one of my big goals is sleep. I need to get more sleep. I need to force myself to go to sleep a little bit earlier. There's a fly
in here.
I saw that slow motion.
Sorry.
This is unedited, by the way. You see all of it. This is like the bloopers within the actual footage. So I look at sleep is a big one for my health. And I'm just going to give you guys like my personal breakdown too, if that helps you out. If it doesn't help you out, just say so and I'll just shut up.
Stop talking, Charles.
So I look at my sleep. That's a big one for me. And a second big one is I need to start doing yoga, like big time. Because I love to weight lift. I love doing high intensity interval training for cardio. I love doing all the intense stuff. But I need to start getting my flexibility back, because after doing massage therapy for almost 10 years, especially when I was full-time, like my body is wrecked. I've got herniated discs and all kinds of crazy shit going on back there I don't even know about. So I've got to stretch. It's part of my health routine now. So I need to write that on my goal board is going to be how many times per week. And I'm actually going to probably do, sounds freaking nuts, 5 times per week. Like Monday through Friday, I need to do at least 20 minutes of yoga, whether that's here at the house or I go out to a yoga class. So that's going to be one of my health goals. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but you guys get the idea. And then what are some of your health goals?
What are some of my health goals?
Let's just do this live.
I don't love fitness as much as Charles does.
So I
like to feel good, but I don't like to actually do.
We're just going to do this exercise like real time with you guys.
So I hate working out. my goal is usually to get to the gym once a week. And I'm just being honest. Usually I don't even hit that goal. I do run around with my son quite a bit, but
it's good cardio.
it is good cardio. But yeah, like Charles said, what is your priority and where are you making the tweaks to reach those goals? So like, I don't really have any huge fitness goals. I don't want to lose any weight. I would like to feel a little bit stronger. So maybe like Charles said, I'll join him with yoga every once in a while during the week. But making those goals and then actually attaining them.
Awesome. And then personal, that could be so many things wherever you're at. That could be your spiritual life, your relationships. So like the big one off the top of my head is like date night. We need to make date night a priority. So I'm going to put on there 4 date nights for the whole month because those are my 30-day goals. And then from there, I break them into small daily tasks that can be put onto either my phone or my computer in my calendar. So I make sure I do them every day. So with that, your personal goals, start jotting those down for myself too. Like I'm trying to get way better at like family. So I need to schedule a game night with my siblings because that's something that we love to do every now and then is just get together and just have a fun game night. So we need to schedule like personal stuff out too. And that goes on my goal board. And then from there, again, I break it down into, okay, not just set the goal. So let's say game night with my siblings. And one of them probably is at least watching this.
I'm seeing a lot of hearts. I think it's probably from Crystal.
My sister Crystal is probably watching this. So like, you don't just say, I want to have a game night with my siblings. You need to get specific. What date? So when you set that goal, set a date to it. Put a deadline on it because deadline creates urgency. And we'll talk about that in the business column in a minute. So set a date on it. What date? And you need to send out that text or make that call. Hey guys, let's do game night. What date works? Set the date and then put it on that board, put it in your calendar and make sure it happens. Or you'll just get busy and it will never happen, right? We all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's about when none of us are truly busy. It's just what you're choosing to make a priority that you'll make time for. So if you make time for date night, if you make time for sibling game night, if you make time for these things, it gets done. So with that, business, my favorite category, of course. So business. What are your business goals for September? If you're Amazon and eBay, you probably have a sales number, right? If you're in, let's say, direct sales, network marketing, you probably have a certain number of people you need to recruit, a certain amount of product you need to sell. You need to actually sit down and map this stuff out. And again, put deadlines on this stuff. If you want to do let's say if you want to do $1,000, I'm just going to make, I'm trying to think of easy math here. I hate math. I'm going to say, if you want to do $1,000 in eBay sales or Amazon sales, whatever, in the month of September, you don't just put on there, oh, I want to make $1,000. That'd be cool. Like, congratulations. You just set a goal. Break it down. You need to set tactics for that. What does that break down to per week? $250. For you to make $250 a week, what do you need to do every day? You need to source. Yep. You need to ship. You need to do your work. So you need to find out what that is for you and write that stuff down.
And more specifically, I'm going to touch on this specific thing again, is how many $10 items do you need to sell in 1 week to hit your goal? So, and for us, our average sale is a little more than $10. Maybe yours is less than $10. Maybe it's way more than $10. Maybe you want to get to $10,000 or $20,000 eBay sales. What do you need to hit every day, every week to get to that goal? Does that mean you're going to meet the goal? No, but you're at least making a roadmap for yourself, making turns where you can see where you're going, look back the next month and say, oh, that's where I made my mistake, or that's where I really thrived, and make a better game plan the next month going up forward.
100%. Wifey always knows best.
I do.
I listen to her sometimes.
So we're wrapping up. I'm sorry. I keep kicking you guys.
You kicked it this week.
I keep kicking you guys.
I kicked it 4 times last week. She kicked the tripod.
Okay. So this is so important. Wherever you are right in this moment, get out a pen and a piece of paper or open a notes, whatever, on your phone. Whiteboard. Get your whiteboard. Write down the thing that you want for this month, but then write down the biggest problem you see. What's going on and where are you going to fix it to get to that goal? So for me, we're right around 600 active listings for eBay. I want to get to 1,000.
We're so close.
So what am I going to do? My problem for this is that I'm not finding enough time in between Titus and all my other duties. So I need to change the way I'm structuring my day. I usually get some work done when he takes naps. So maybe I need to ask someone to come in and help me out with babysitting for a few extra hours a week. Maybe I need to see if someone in our, maybe a grandma wants to have him a couple extra hours during the week. Just figuring out where the problem is and then the solution is the most important thing. So write it down right now, starting now.
Go. Yes, I agree.
Yes. Problem to the big goal, solution to hit the big goal. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Hopefully.
I've just learned to say yes to everything Wifey says.
All right. I think that's kind of like that was our big message for today.
Yeah, you guys get the gist of it. Like it comes down to the action steps, having that roadmap every single week. So I'm a big fan of setting 30-day goals and focusing on hitting those, because if you achieve your 30-day goals every month, your big picture will happen. So we just want to really break it down for you guys and teach you, like, this is what you need to do to really scale whatever you want, whether it's your business, personal relationships, your health, whatever. You need to learn to focus on those smaller targets and really just go all in with those and make it a focus, make it a priority. So that's like the main message we wanted to get out. I know we haven't touched base on comments or anything like that yet because we didn't want to do a lot of back and forth and get any sidetracked. We want to give the message first, and then we will do Q&A at the end of every episode. So I'm good with my spiel.
Yeah,
if you guys want to give it a try, tag me, message me, comment below on this video after you do it and say, hey, I did the assignment, right? So I use that whiteboard you can see over there. I break it down into 3 categories: health, personal, and business. And
right.
you can use that. You can tweak it, edit however you want to. That's just what I personally do, and it's worked out great for me. So now it's open Q&A between Instagram and YouTube Live. So if you guys are dropping comments, we'll come back through and get those answered the best that we can.
So Sam, you wanted to know what made us choose arbitrage over PL or other methods. It really just came down to capital and experience. You kicked them again.
Just kicked it. I'm sorry.
Come on. So arbitrage is, in our opinion, a really good way to get started, especially if you've never sold anything before. PL, there's a lot of moving parts. Especially depending on what you're buying, where you're buying it from, shipping, all of that. So we are not private label experts, and we won't answer any private label questions.
Shocking. We don't give advice on stuff we don't do.
Yeah, we don't do it, so we're not going to give you guys advice on it.
The last thing you'll see us do is sit here and try to like BS our way through like a private label session or anything like that. Like, you guys just get whatever we have experience with. Like, we'll give you all of it. I mean, we were one of the first YouTubers to just put everything out there. Like, I created the first FBA step-by-step shipment video, which most of you have probably seen, that I didn't charge for. Like, we don't mind just putting everything out there, but it's based on stuff we know.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about eBay testing out the buy box method? So, like, looking at the Amazon buy box for eBay.
I actually haven't looked into that, so I don't know what they're doing with that.
Not sure. Galen, can you clarify? Gina, I'm so glad you were here.
Should I do Instagram? What's up, IG?
Your video. Somebody wants to know when's the last day before Amazon restricts FBA sellers sending in items during the Christmas time. Here is a great example. So if you haven't sent in a shipment yet, what are your action steps to get it done? We actually don't know the date. I don't even know that Amazon has said that they'll do that again this year. I'm sure we can.
For new sellers?
I think so.
I haven't seen anything yet.
But you can almost guarantee that they will, just based on last year. So don't wait. Don't wait until November. Do it right now.
So I can tell you from what we saw last year, and what the question is referring to is last year, Amazon sent out an email that said, if you have not sent in your first FBA shipment by this date, you will basically be locked out from starting that first shipment until December 19th. So there's this big, like everyone calls themselves the December 19th boom. But I haven't seen email on it this year yet. Will they do it? It's up in the air because Q4 is coming up. It's kind of close. We don't know yet. If somebody does know, I would love to see a link or something stating that, just so I can be up to date. But as far as I know, I haven't seen anything.
So don't wait.
Yeah, don't wait. Go now. If you need help, go check out our videos. Like we show you guys literally step by step how to send in your first shipment. I would rather you send in stuff, of course, staying within TOS and policy. Don't just send a bunch of restricted stuff in. Like be smart about it. But you're going to learn more about FBA by doing FBA than you would reading about it or watching videos on it. I heard it. I forgot what podcast or somebody was talking about this, but they gave an analogy. It was amazing. You're going to catch more fish by having your damn hook in the water than you are sitting at home reading about how to fish. Like put your hook in the water, get your feet wet, and you're going to make some catches. It's the same thing with FBA. You're going to learn more about FBA or eBay, either way. Like you're going to learn more about just doing it, starting it, and learning from your experiences than any video, any coach, anyone else will tell you. I do videos and I tell you guys that. Like, watch my videos to learn the basics, but I don't want you to sit around here, watch them all day and not do anything about it.
Yeah. This one, you can have that.
Do we still get pallets? Want to start, but don't know where to start off. There's only, at the time of this video, there is 2 companies I recommend. One is going to be boxfox.com, boxfox.net, I believe. Somebody link it up. I'll correct it in the description below if I'm wrong. So BoxFox and Miami Lots are the only 2 companies that do pallets that I recommend. I will say this: Miami Lots is the one who does the liquidation. They do shelf pull. That's why I recommend them, because it's not all used stuff. I recommend sticking with newer condition items if you can. BoxFox basically works as an auction website. Our 2-year-old just came out. It's too funny. He's fishing. So BoxFox will act as the platform for auctions that you're buying from third parties. So they do all new condition stuff too. A lot of Nike shoes, all that kind of stuff. So I highly recommend those 2. That's all I'm going to say on pallets, because I know they watch the videos. I'm not going to say anything else.
And I'm not going to say anything else.
Those are 2 I recommend.
If you just Google Passion Planner, I actually bought my first one on eBay. So, but you can buy them from the actual company. And they're on the spendier side as far as planners go. They're around $30 or $35, but the investment is totally worth it to me. I really like it.
Oh, shirts. Somebody point out shirts. Yes, we do have FBA Rockstar shirts now available. So if you guys did not see the post about that inside of the Facebook group, you can direct message me on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, and I can get you hooked up with a link to get the shirts. We're going to be out of town, and I'm making some adjustments. So it will probably be about Tuesday, Wednesday-ish until those are back up live for you guys. Boxfox.co. Thank you. And again, if you guys have questions, now would be the time to drop those down. Trista, what is your process after sourcing? Do you picture first, draft, pick, and list at the same time? What's your process?
I like to... what is my process? My process is this. So I source, I get everything all together. I separate everything. Sorry, we're talking to Instagram. So all good information. But so I get everything organized based on like the type that it is. So I put coats and shirts and dresses all together. This will help you with your listing. It just kind of streamlines everything so that when you're measuring and when you're listing, you can do those bulk listings for dresses or for shirts or whatever. I usually like to photograph everything. And then I actually, in addition to my planner, I live by just a regular notebook. So I write down, let me see here.
She is like crazy organized compared to me.
So I don't know if anyone can see this, but I write down what the item was, what the measurements are, and then as I go, I'm crossing things off. These are all tags that I come back to later because I'm missing some kind of information.
Show the YouTubers.
Okay, I'll show the YouTube.
Show the YouTube peeps.
So this is it focusing? There we go. So these are the things that I'm measuring. So I usually just write the brand name and like what size it is or something like that. And then measurements go next to it. And then as I'm, that way the inventory can get put away right away. Once I have my photos and all of this information, I literally just marathon list from my notebook. I upload the photos to my listings from my phone once I save them as drafts. And I actually don't know how long it takes me to list like 10 things. Probably
should do a time trial.
I should try it, but
we should race.
Maybe like
you kick my butt.
Maybe to build a listing would be about 4 minutes, maybe. And then I can photograph so fast. And I think that's the thing that you have to really focus on when you have mass quantities of something is like finding those shortcuts where you can save a lot of time because that time adds up. So if I photographed everything and then I measured it and then I listed it, it would take me so much time. So I'm doing all of my photographs all at one time. I'm then putting those things aside and then I go back and measure them all at the same time. And then I go back again and I build listings all at the same time. And then my last process is uploading those photographs to my drafts from my phone. I hope that makes sense.
I have a super great tip that's even better for how to streamline and shortcut a few things. Hire.
He just likes to
hire help. No, seriously, we hired on a helper for eBay, Jamie, and she's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
She comes here a couple days a week, and we'll just basically stockpile all of our eBay stuff. She'll hammer through all the photos, which is her primary job right now, and then she's been crossing over and helping me out with Amazon shipments too. So hiring on help when you know that you kind of hit that point where you're capped on your time. I mean, all you have to do is pay somebody anywhere from like 10 to 12 bucks an hour, and they're happy to make that extra cash, and we're happy to have the help. So if you hit that point where you're capped at your time, that might be an option that you really need to look at. And we talked about that last week, if you want to go back and watch that as well.
Right.
How do you handle returns on eBay even when the customer is in the wrong?
Actually, we don't have that many returns.
Yeah, we haven't. I've had maybe 2 the like year that I've sold on eBay.
Yeah, we don't. But what I have heard is that eBay's like member services are really helpful. And if the eBay buyer is actually really in the wrong, then eBay usually sides with, whoever's in the right. So I would just get eBay involved and go from there. I've heard that they're pretty good about being on our side as well as the buyer's side.
I agree with Joel. When your kid gets older, you can take care of that. Free help.
Right.
I'll take it.
With eBay.
What age can we start him? He's 2.5. I think 3. Maybe we'll start training him at 3. eBay professional by 5. What are some prep to take for Q4? So Q4 is coming up. If this is your first time during Q4, it'll be okay. We'll all survive. Q4, you can expect higher velocity of sales. They're going to sell faster. And then you could also expect that things might be a little bit higher in sale price too. So don't be afraid to price your stuff just a little bit higher, especially in the toys, games, and electronics area. Those seem to be some of the best selling Q4 items. But what you can be doing right now, which is what we're doing, is increase the volume that you're sourcing, increase your shipments into Amazon, start increasing everything. Because the second that Black Friday hits, that's like the marker. Black Friday begins the whole thing, and it's crazy. It could be potentially the biggest chunk of your sales come in those 3 months. If you plan for it. Like last year, we failed miserably. Last year, we were just, I don't even know what we were doing, but like we didn't do Q4. Like we didn't do Q4. We just kept sending in shipments every now and then, didn't take it seriously. It was still kind of a side hobby. But this year, we're actually being intentional. We want to make this like a full-time income for both of us. So we're definitely just hammering out as much as we can right now and stockpiling for that stuff.
Yeah.
Price-wise in your toys category and electronics that we're doing I'm sending a buttload of shipments in right now. And I'm not pricing my stuff to sell right away. I'm pricing my stuff just a few bucks higher, because you'll see that as Q4 starts to ramp up, that price spike starts to happen on certain toys too. Not just toys, it's really everything starts to go up.
Okay. Somebody wanted to know. Oh, I lost it. I think that's all I got.
Urban Eyes Enterprise has lost 8 pounds. Congrats.
Ooh, good job. I can't find it, but if anyone has any Amazon FBA specific questions, you can always go over to our group. It's FBA Rockstars on Facebook. We've got kind of a big group now, but everyone's pretty chill, and we are definitely geared towards helping people who are just starting out with e-commerce and Amazon get started. So if you have questions about very specific questions, go to that group and post your question in the group. You'll get help.
We got another one. In your description, I'm assuming for eBay, do you use bullet points, paragraphs, sentences? You're way better at descriptions than I am.
I actually copy and paste the title, and then I will bullet point them, and then I do add a little extra description if it's needed. I kind of feel like, and I'm not an eBay guru, so take my 2 cents for what it's worth. But I kind of feel like your photos are worth more than a paragraph after your listing. So I really focus on good photos. I actually just got a new background and working on my lighting, which I'm not a photographer, and lighting is my nemesis. But I'm working on better photos, and I think that just having that first look, the customer is more interested in what the item looks like. Don't get me wrong. Description's good too.
Titus, come here.
Titus, what are you doing?
Okay, the bat around.
So I think we might be wrapping up here.
Ty, come here. You want to say hi?
A few people wanted to know if we're using the eBay Valet, and we haven't looked into that as of yet.
I probably won't.
I don't know. I kind of feel like we have adequate space, and we're just kind of shipping from our garage, and it's fine. So
we have a really good system going right now. We've been like we've already seen. I mean, well, it's two things. Like one, we've put in a lot of effort into eBay the last 6 weeks, and we are, according to our back end as of today, we're up 61% in August versus July. So that reflects how much extra work we put into it and how much extra sourcing and photos and listing. So it's finally paying off. So with that, we've had a big increase in order. So I think we've got a pretty good routine down now, where every morning we both have kind of our own morning routines. And then we're usually out here in the garage, and we have a system down for how we ship stuff. and we've both been kind of rocking through that stuff. So we have a pretty smooth system. We can ship out a good amount of items fairly quick. That's one thing I think we've kind of teamed up on. We're doing pretty good with. So yeah, we have a good enough system. I don't see any need or demand to really go into Valet yet.
Yeah, not yet.
And I have heard literally nothing about it. So I don't know if it's good, bad, if you guys have had experience with it. Maybe you have, then that would be awesome to hear about it. Drop a comment below, let us know.
Yeah. So someone wanted to know if Amazon is becoming too saturated for new sellers. Definitely not. I think that I know that the rules are more strict than they were a year and 2 years ago, and they'll probably continue to get more strict, but there's always room for new sellers to start out. The way that Amazon is going is buying wholesale, having paper trails, and so there's ways to help build those wholesale relationships. We have good contacts with what am I trying to say? Just like people in our group who are like we like the guys people? We like the guys over at Wholesale Formula, and there's ways to get started is what I'm trying to say. It's not as easy as it was 2 years ago, but it's still very much an option. And as retail stores are starting to close more and more, the trend is online shopping, and so we're on the ground floor for that. Yeah,
totally. Just because there's more hoops to jump through doesn't mean it's less profitable or sustainable of a business. You just have to be willing to jump through those hoops.
Yep.
What is our secret to flipping things quickly? Easy. Buy stuff that's in high demand. Like super easy. Like if you can buy stuff that's not high demand and still make money on it, but it's going to sit for a while. So you want to make sure that you are buying stuff that is in demand. So if you're on Amazon, everything has a rank. So look at the rank history. I'm not talking about the current rank. Look at the rank history on Keepa or Camel, and you'll see if it consistently sells every month versus one sale every now and then. And there goes Instagram.
Bye, Instagram.
Bye-bye. My phone is out of storage, so it always does that. I need to get a new phone. So look at Keepa on Amazon. It will tell you how fast stuff sells, and you just buy that stuff and it's going to sell quickly. Versus eBay, they don't have sales rank, but you filter by sold listings and you can see exactly how many times per month something is sold. So if something sells one time a month, you probably don't want to buy 100 of them. But if you see there's 100 sales per month, load up. Yeah. So you kind of have to, each business is different. So you need to just look at what business type you want to run. Yeah. We're definitely, we've been a lot about the quick flips lately. So I know my niche, she knows hers, and together under the one account that we have, we've just got a really good quick flip routine going right now.
And with eBay, it's really easy to make your items look more attractive than the listing next to you. So making sure that you have the best pictures that you can, that you have good descriptions that are, hey, Ty, don't do that.
Titus, come here.
Making sure that you have good descriptions that are, really highlighting your product, or if it's used, making sure that you have adequate descriptions so that the buyer doesn't get something that they weren't expecting. So you have the opportunity to really showcase your item a little bit better in eBay than you do Amazon. Amazon is just one listing, and that's it, so yeah. What was the question? Oh, flipping fast. Yeah, so like Charles said, make sure that you're filtering sold on all of your eBay research. Like he said, if they're only selling one a month versus 20 a month, that is definitely going to affect your buying decision.
Yes.
Yes. We just say yes a lot to each other. Yes.
You never tell me yes. Just kidding. Do you guys have set days and times that you list and source? Do you work on the weekends as well? We're supposed to have like a no work on Sundays rule, but
we are really good about Sundays. Saturdays is a little bit more
negotiable. Saturdays is hit or miss, especially with summertime. We've been out like camping, weddings, like all this crazy stuff going on. So
Yeah.
schedule's a little bit off right now. I feel like we're getting back into the swing of things. But for the most part, yeah, we do follow a pretty tight schedule because you're pretty consistent with bins for clothing.
Yeah. So on, you know, through the week, like I was saying before, on Sunday, I map out what my week looks like. And I just know these certain days at these certain times, my son is being watched by this person. So that's when I take advantage of my time and get as much as I can done. On Mondays, I usually go thrifting for 3 to 4 hours, and then I'll come home and quite honestly, I'm exhausted. So I just usually photograph. I don't do many actual listings that day. But like we were saying before, making sure that you're just mapping out your day or your week or your month and hitting those goals as much as possible.
Big letters. eBay Valet is a ripoff. Don't do it. Point taken.
Okay.
He's testing out toys for us. Yes, he is definitely testing out toys for us. This was, yeah. So my end of stuff, I focus a lot more on the Amazon side. Recently, I picked up online arbitrage a lot more. So right now, it's been daily. Like for an hour every morning, I sit down because I use tactical arbitrage. And I run that every night. And so every morning I sit down for an hour. I filter through the good stuff and the bad stuff, the mismatches, and I pick out what I'm going to do for my online arbitrage that day. Fortunately, I've been scoring a lot of good stuff at local stores, so I can actually order it. And then it's either shipped to the store or because some stores will offer a discount if you ship to their store. Like Walmart just started doing this too. So you get a small discount. Or it's already available in the store. So I hit the online order and then I just go pick them up straight out of the store. That way I don't have to rush over there. And because there's been some times where I'll hear about a good deal and I have to like stop everything, hop in my car and race to the store and hope nobody else gets it. So that's what I love about online arbitrage is if you can pick it up in the store and it's already in stock, you can place your order online. They pull it from the shelf and it's already reserved for you. So I've been sourcing online stuff every day. And that's been non-negotiable in my schedule. And then I go out probably 2 days a week, pretty consistently, 2, sometimes 3. I'll go out and do like local pickups from Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, all that fun stuff.
I do use my phone for listing eBay. I find it adequate. I could probably use something fancier. We have things that are fancier. The only advantage that I can't seem to get away from the iPhone for is that my photos are just with me all the time. So I don't need my laptop if I'm just like sitting, waiting for whatever. You know, I can pull up the drafts that I have saved, upload those photos really quick, and make them go live. So like if I'm getting my hair done, which happens once every 3 months, but
Camping.
You know, right. Like we'll be going camping this weekend. I'm going to get so many drafts, you know, uploaded, get them started. And then through the weekend, if I have a few minutes here and there, I can just upload the photos quickly and those listings go live. I don't have to have a set, you know, 2 hours dedicated just to put photos on my listings.
And I know
the only problem.
Yeah.
I just can't get away from my iPhone because of that.
Yeah. And I do the same thing. Like you guys know, I do a lot of electronics. So same thing. I do everything on my phone, just have super bright lights on the object. It's usually fine. And realistically, guys, like, you know, it blows my mind when I'm looking at comps, especially with electronics.
Yeah.
When I'm looking at comps, like I know that we have a nice white background. We have bright lights. We have decent cameras on our phones. We're trying to take like the perfect white background photo. And then I look at the comps of some of the stuff that's sold and it's like on their kitchen counter with junk in the background or like on a dirty carpet.
So weird.
And it still sells at the same price. It blows my mind.
Don't be that person though. Like, please.
So yeah, it's like on the flip side, it's like you don't really need to have the fanciness of it all. Like, yes, it looks better. It's cleaner. But I know several people that they do a lot of stuff on the road and they'll literally just create their own little mini photo box. You don't even need a photo box. They'll just have something in their car that they use as a background and they'll go buy the thing from a garage sale, put it in their car, photo it, and then boom, it's uploaded and it will sell sometimes the same day.
Yeah.
So yeah, the photos thing, phone, it's been working out fine for us. We haven't had a need. Again, we have the nice camera and stuff, but it's just so convenient to use the phone.
Yeah.
And sales back it up. It's been fine for us.
Yeah. Let's see.
That's a fun one. That was a conversation we just had. How do you catalog items at your house while they wait to sale?
We
Easy.
use bins.
We don't.
Well, we're trying to be better.
You guys want unedited, right?
Oh my gosh.
Here, it's happening. It's happening.
Oh no. Bye.
So we have everything in bins. That's one part of our bins. That's mostly shoes.
I don't think they can see it because the photo box is in the way, but
and then we have shelves of bins over there for the rest of it. So as of right now, we haven't had enough stored to really need some type of catalog system because we both have really good memories with our own products. So if you say, hey, you sold this camera, I know exactly which camera, which bin it's in. But now that we've hired on help, now that we're getting more inventory, especially for Q4, we have to go through and actually catalog all this stuff.
So one of the things that I did kind of, it's not a fix, but it is a workaround, is you can use a dry erase on plastic. So I've been writing down the items that are in each bin. I also try to keep them kind of chronologically, like as I'm going through the shelf, I'll try to like go from right to left and put things away like that. It gets more tricky when you have to consolidate bins and things get shuffled around. But like I said, you can use a dry erase on those plastic, maybe not all plastic bins, but the ones that we have, you can use a dry erase and then you just, wipe it away when you sell the thing. So there's way better, more scientific ways to do this.
Way better.
But I don't have a good answer. I think that 10K on the Bay did this really amazing video about this.
We should probably watch it.
I should check out his channel. He might have a better
If anyone
solution.
would know it, he's definitely the one.
All right.
Currently, we do not have any private label. We do mostly online and retail arbitrage.
We have a few things going.
How do we find quality wholesalers? So, you guys, wholesale can be easier than most people think. Everyone tries to make it to be like this scientific calculation. There's a couple different ways. One, go into your local stores, especially if you can find local manufacturers of stuff that's not nationwide. Go into your local stores and start looking at the back of the boxes, and you'll see distributed by or the brand name. Email those guys. So that's step one. You can just send out those emails. And that's what the whole process is just sending out emails to distributors and wholesalers, or the brand themselves for the direct manufacturer. Or go on to Amazon and you just reverse, right? You go on to Amazon, look at best-selling products or whatever types of products you want to sell, find the brands of those products that are selling well, and then go through and just reach out. That's as simple as it is. You're going to be told no a lot, but the few that tell you yes, that have a few products that can make you money, you just start to, boom, month after month after month, you just replan those, and that can be great money to be made there.
Yeah. So somebody asked a question about selling wholesale on eBay. That is really almost too, sorry, I keep kicking you guys.
Did it again.
That is almost too broad of question. So we need more information. But it's really going to come down to the product. Do your research and see what platform is best to sell that product on. Mm-hmm. And then you have to look at the numbers. How much are you getting the product for? How much are you going to sell it after you ship it and the fees from either eBay, Amazon, or some other platform? You have to do your due diligence with this. It might be a great product for eBay if you're willing and ready to store it or utilize the eBay Valet. There's lots of factors, so it's pretty hard to evaluate. Like I said, if you have very specific eBay or Amazon questions, get plugged into our FBA or eBay groups. They're called the FBA rock stars or the eBay rock
Flash
stars.
that swag.
And they our groups are really helpful. There's a lot of really good mentors as well as people alongside of you learning. So always good dialogue.
Yep. So last 2 questions. One, do we do grocery on Amazon? That is the one category we have not gotten into yet, but it's probably going to be one I get into pretty soon. So yes, I will be getting into grocery for sure, but we have not sold anything. Last question is, what software do we use for online sourcing? It is Tactical Arbitrage. Hands down, like, I will put that up against any other software, the best software out there. The thing with Tactical Arbitrage right now, it is shut down to new members because Alex, the creator, is amazing, and he shuts it down every now and then to make better improvements for the current members, which is how every company should be running their stuff, right? Taking care of their current members. So there is a wait list, and we do have an access code that can give you a 10-day free trial. Of course, that is an affiliate, so if you do choose to participate in that and support us, much appreciated. Thank you. But we do have a wait list for Tactical Arbitrage. So if you want to get on that wait list, you need to message me directly, either here on YouTube, Facebook, or on Instagram, and I can get you added in there. Supposedly, it's going to open up before Q4 really kicks in. So hopefully October, November-ish. I have not heard an exact date yet. But the second that I do, if you get on our email list, I'll blast that out to you. But aside from that, I think we are at just past our hour mark. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been episode number 4 of Side Hustle Pros Live. Yep.
Stay tuned. We're still doing our flips and finds videos. We try to do them at the beginning of the week, and we'll show you what we bought, what we flipped things for, what our profit margins look like. We have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always bloopers thrown in there.
Yeah.
But aside from that, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you tuning in, listening in, dropping those questions. Again, if you need links to either Instagram account where we do documenting behind the scenes, especially with garage sales, that's Side Hustle Pros on Instagram, as well as the Facebook links. You can find all that stuff in the description below. So thank you so much. You guys have a great night. Let us know if we can help with anything. We'll see you next week.